Hi, so we're on Talgo train now, going from Turkestan to Almaty. We arrived in Kazakhstan a couple of days ago, but we were a little bit poorly, so we didn't really vlog too much. So yeah, this is our first video from Kazakhstan, yeah.
So this is a first class compartment of Kazakhstan's Railways Talgo train. It's very nice. It's a two-person room with its own sink, and yeah, it's really nice. Really comfy beds. It's pretty good. Yeah, really enjoy it.
Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're fine. We're still in Kazakhstan, in Almaty, and everything went not according to plan, I would say, here, because Richard has got tonsillitis recently, and the first thing we did after our arriving, we went to the doctor. Yeah, so we're just busy with treating his sickness, which hopefully will pass soon, because it's hard to be sick on holidays far from home, and yeah, it's a bit depressive, I would say, but we try to take it easy. We just go for walks. Yesterday we went for a couple of hours to do some train spotting, and today Richard went with his friend to do some train spotting outside of Almaty. So yeah, tomorrow we're heading off to our next destination, and hopefully we will continue vlogging. We'll see. Yeah, and I'm going for my hair appointment shortly. Got a bit long. Not too long, but I would like it maybe slightly shorter. But yeah, anyway. Stay tuned, stay safe, take care.
So, a bit of an update. We're now on a train heading towards Pavlodar from basically Almaty. We got on a couple of hours into the journey. Nearly Kazakhstan. Not actually 100% sure how you pronounce the name. Yeah, it's basically a big reservoir. A couple of hours north of Almaty. Anyway, yeah, we're on a Talgo first class sleeping compartment. Again, very nice, slightly different to the other one. It's maybe a slightly earlier, slightly later design. Some just slight differences really, but yeah, very nice.
Yeah, and we haven't been filming for a week because Richard was a little bit sick after Bukhara. Yeah, so like I explained earlier, we just went to doctor, he took some medicine. Yeah, and we didn't really feel like doing much.
No, although I have been able to go out most days, it has been a bit difficult. I've had a lot less energy, so I've not really felt like doing vlogs. It's been the last thing on my mind. I've been to the doctors quite a few days in a row to get various medication and be checked up. I'm mostly better now. I'm able to eat a lot easier, which is good. In a couple of days I should be my normal self, which is really good, but I feel a lot better now. Glad to be travelling onwards throughout Kazakhstan. Yeah, while we have taken this gap from vlogging, we visited from Bukhara. We went by overnight train to Tashkent. We then got a taxi to the border with Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Went through the border there. Everyone was very friendly there. They're very glad to see an English person as well. Then we got a taxi to Shymkent, where we spent the afternoon and the night. And then in the morning we went to a town city called Turkestan, which is a few hours from Shymkent. Quite a historic city as well, and that was really nice there. Then we caught the first Talgo train of the trip from there to Almaty, which basically covers what we've done. We had quite a few days in Almaty, which was lucky, as I was able to cover there. There's a lot of obviously modern medicine, modern hospitals, places to eat. It's really good there.
Yeah, and you went for some train spotting as well for a couple of hours?
Yes, there were a couple of days did go out. One day I went out with Elena, went to the electric line out of the city, saw a few trains, just basically so I wasn't getting, bored and really fed up being in the hotel all the time, because it was starting to get a bit depressing being locked in. And then the second day I went out with my friend Mia, who actually lives in Almaty, who I know through Flickr online through photos. So it was nice to have a catch up with him and have a bit of a morning out, taking some photos as well. So yeah, that was good. And then yesterday as well, in this area we've been, we had a few hours out, saw a few trains. So yeah, it was good to at least still see something, and also as well have a bit of a look around Almaty again, the city, when we're going for food, and go to a few areas there. So it's a really lovely city and really would recommend visiting.
Yeah, definitely. Shall we mention about today's predicament?
Yes, what happened today was we got to the station about an hour before our train, so I thought I'd get a few photos if there is anything. Nothing.
It's a small station.
Yeah, quite a small station. Basically one platform and then a few tracks for passing freight trains, stabled freight trains there. So I thought I'll get a few photos. Normally I don't tend to do too much station photography. Often it's a bit cluttered, it's a bit chaotic. I just prefer more scenic shots and more on the stretch photos. But I thought, while you're here, you get some photos. Sometimes it can be quite interesting as well. So got a photo from the bridge, no issue. Went downstairs onto the platform, and my dad, who likes trains but not as much as me, started taking a photo with his proper camera of a loco, which this guy then approached him, basically saying in Russian, "We can't do that." I went over to try and help and say it is allowed here. Taking photos in public spaces of trains is totally fine. But as is often the case, unfortunately, in some countries, a lot of railway workers don't seem to think this. They've never encountered it. And often it is in the post-Soviet countries as well, unfortunately. Just something that happens quite a bit. You get used to it. Sometimes it's just a case of them saying something and them walking away. Other times it can result in the police, which it has happened before. Thankfully, touch wood, never anything bad's come by it, but it can happen. Anyway, this guy and then another woman, both who were quite aggressive, ended up in quite a heated discussion with shouting at me in Russian first, which obviously doesn't really do much because I don't understand it, and then shouting at Elena, which they wouldn't take the reasons for us doing it.
I think they just really wanted us to say, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing really wrong stuff. We're going to put a bomb under the train. The woman literally said it. Yeah. You're going to put a bomb under the train.
It's funny, isn't it? We wouldn't, I always say in these situations, we wouldn't be so blatantly obvious if we were doing this. I've been accused of being a spy in the past. If I was going to be a spy, I'd be doing it somewhere. I'd be hiding somewhere. I wouldn't be so obvious about it. I wouldn't be waving to the drivers when they go past. You just wouldn't, would you? But unfortunately, this is something that happens anyway. These people, after having a bit of an argument with them, and basically we tried to stand our ground with it, another freight train started to enter the station. So I thought, right, prove a point. I'm going to film it on my phone. This guy did not like it. He ran and tried to, he did knock my phone out of my hand. Thankfully no damage there. and then threatened to punch me by going like this, which for a railway worker is incredibly unprofessional, isn't it? So we went to the head of the station. We thought, right, we're gonna try and nip this in the bud a bit, but we know it's fine to take photos here. We obviously know that you can encounter such problems, but anyway, so we went to the head of the station. Sort of helpful.
At least he was friendly enough. He listened to us. Yeah, but
he was apologetic. He was
yes.
quite apologetic, and even said a couple of words in English, saying sorry to me as well. But yeah, so we had that conversation, but they said.
I asked multiple times, all of them, railway workers, policeman guy, the head of the station guy, to show me an actual law that doesn't allow anyone to take pictures of trains in the country. I asked multiple times. They didn't show me that. They don't have it.
There never is.
Yes. They show me a little piece of paper. It's like domestic, restriction for the station. Not taking pictures. What did they say?
Of disasters and unusual events. So basically, if a train's derailed, not to take a photo, which is understandable to an extent. However, these railway rules only apply to the railway workers. They can't stop someone taking a photo. And the thing is, as well, tourists, general people getting on the train. Let's say a young mother's getting on the train with her kids. She might take a photo of the train, for their memories. Really, it might be the first time they've gone on the train. She might take a photo on her smartphone of the train. No one's going to come and knock that out of her hand. The problem is when you pull out a big camera and it looks suspicious.
They start shouting, "It's strategic object! It's a public place!"
Yeah, this is unfortunately the problem, and to an extent I understand the unsurety of it. A lot of people that see this will never have seen anyone doing this. These aren't countries that are have quite a lot of train spotters. Obviously, train spotting is quite an unusual hobby as it is, but a lot of people will never have seen a train spotter here, whereas in the UK, nearly everyone who works on the railway will have encountered one at some point and will most likely know about the culture, at least, so it's not as much of a shock. But anyway, after we came back, there was the police waiting with this woman and my parents, so we all went to the guy, minus my parents, the station master, head of the station, whatever you want to call him, and had a bit of a discussion, which wasn't really helpful, to be fair. The policeman didn't seem particularly that bothered, to be fair.
He was absolutely useless.
He didn't seem to do anything. He questioned Elena making up about him knocking my phone out of my hand. I'm like, why would we? If he hadn't done it, we wouldn't have been going and having all these conversations, basically. We wouldn't have gone personally before the police got there to the head of the station. So basically they said there's this rule from Astana, which is presumably come from like the head of Kazakhstan railways, but
just a crinkled, dirty piece of
there didn't seem any proof of that, particularly. My friend here said as well that that's just a rule that they have on the railways. It's not law. There is absolutely no law forbidding it, and it's perfectly fine. So but they were quite apologetic, presumably because they didn't want us to take it any further.
The guy, the head of the station, actually mentioned, we're sorry, let's just leave the conversation in this room and not go any further.
Because it could be quite a headache for him, and also just everyone working at that station, which we're obviously not going to take it any further, but shouldn't go doing such actions. Thankfully, it's something we're both actually now quite used to, so it's not something that's going to be on our minds for ages, but we just thought we'd like to explain a situation that actually does happen from time to time. However, I will say 99% of Kazakh railway workers have been absolutely fantastic on the last trip. We've been invited in cabs, we've had tea with railway workers, been really friendly, had good chats with them, been really interested that I'm English and taking photos. So yeah,
Yeah.
the overall reception is absolutely great. It's just always you do find one who is unfortunately stuck in quite old-fashioned ways and likes to throw a bit of authority around. And unfortunately, these two individuals who were very rude, they were just general workers. They weren't anyone who had authority or any sort of management power, which unfortunately always seems to be the case when it is these people. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're always happy to explain what we're doing. I'm always happy to have a little bit of conversation, civilized conversation. But when people approach you with such attitude, shouting at you, like doing that in front of your face, sorry, not sorry, I do not tolerate that. And
No.
we always try to stand for our boundaries. So
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've had this in countries as well, in Western Europe, and I will not take it at all. Especially if you know the law, you want to stand by your right, and especially even had it in the UK where people have taken this attitude that it's not allowed, and I just will not take it, unfortunately, for them, because why should you? Why should you back down from following your hobbies and passions over people who just want to throw the weight around and act like 10 men?